Scheduled to come out and hear from your candidates. These are some very important races: County Commissioner Precinct 3, County Commissioner Precinct 1, and Texas House District 33. Most certainly, they have much to say to you tonight, so we will be on a tight time frame. I hope that you'll respect the time that we've got and the prompts that we have as we go along. Thank you to our forum committee, to your Republican precinct chairs, and all the volunteers who work to bring the candidates to you tonight. It is not an easy task. We are blessed by our God Almighty to live in this county, in this state, and in this nation. And to have fellow citizens that want to give up their time to run for office here, for service to you, for service to the people, to this community, to make it better. It's not an easy task to run a campaign, to be a candidate. And it's not a completely self-serving thing. They have to have a love for what they're doing and the people they're serving. So thank you to the candidates. Throughout the campaign process, the candidates talk and listen and express their priorities and ideas for the people of Rockwall County, to you, the voters. It's not an easy process again. In fact, I really think that they all deserve a round of applause from you for enduring the campaign process. But our goal as the party is to educate and inform the voters so that you are equipped with truth as you cast your ballots when you go to the election polls in next month and in March. So that's our goal tonight, that you will walk away knowing more than you did when you came in those doors. And remember that campaigns come and go. There's always winners and losers. And at the end of the day, at the end of the primary season, we are all Republicans. And when November comes around, we will continue to vote Republican. I want to take 1 minute for a little plug. Tomorrow, if you have time, about 1:30, we're doing a ribbon cutting at our headquarters, 112 Kenway. So you can come and see the little remodel we've done. That will be a fun event. And then if you've not yet signed up to come to Radio Day, we've got cards out front and a poster about that, and you can get information there from those signs. With that, for what? Time. Oh, the ribbon cutting is at 1:30 tomorrow, at 112 Kenway. So that's all I have, and with that I'll turn it over to our moderator, David Peake. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon, and welcome. Just got a few opening housekeeping remarks. Try to make this as quick as possible, but all of this is important, and we've also got some folks who are still coming in. If you do have your smartphone with you, please silent that. Ensure any sidebar conversations are taken to the hallway if they cannot wait. If you come up towards the stage area, we've got some power cords along the floor. Please watch your step. And one rule that we've adopted for this evening, if you have any homemade signs that you plan to hold up during the event, we ask that you not do that. You risk being asked to remove. Additionally, we ask that everybody maintain a proper level of decorum. We have security guards with us this evening, and it would be unfortunate if anyone had to be asked to leave. Additionally, if you are not registered to vote, we do have some voter registrars here. You can check with me during the recess. If you need to use the restrooms, they are up front. The women's room is to my left, and the men's room is to the right. Tonight you will hear from candidates in the following offices in this order. We're starting with Commissioner Precinct 3, Commissioner Precinct 1, and then candidates for House District 33. Each set of candidates will be asked 9 questions. All responses will be limited to 60 seconds. The questions have been vetted and selected by the County Party's Forum Committee. We will be taking 2 brief recesses during the program. Feel free to grab a cup of coffee, visit with the candidates, visit with their tables in the back and along the side during the recesses. I will also note that during the recesses, if you are up here, we have numerous groups who are streaming this event. The mics will be hot, so if you come up front, be careful what you say. Additionally, to ensure that our streaming folks are able to get a good signal, if you are using the county guest Wi-Fi, we ask that you cut that off for the duration of the event. You should be able to get regular wireless in lieu of that. Now some instructions to candidates. The candidates will be seated in ballot order from left to right facing the stage. There will be no opening statements, but following the final question, each candidate will be afforded a 90-second closing. I will read each question once. If a candidate wants it repeated, please let us know. There will be 60 seconds for the first candidate to answer. Other candidates will also have 60 seconds for each response. The 60-second response time is shorter than in many previous forums that you may have attended, so candidates are encouraged to be prepared to answer the questions directly and succinctly. The shorter response time will allow the candidates to be asked a larger number of questions. On the questions, we will rotate who goes first on each question. Some questions will be asked from me up here at the lectern. Some will be asked by Amy Norton or Andrew Greenberg, our co-moderators. Do not feel obligated to take your full time allocated to answer each question. If responses appear to be engaging, we may let the conversation flow beyond the normal time allocated. If things get off the rails, I will do my best to throttle things back and get us back on track. And for candidates, this is very important. Please speak directly into the microphone so folks throughout the room can hear. Often speakers will say, I have a loud voice, I don't need a microphone. For a room this size, yes you do. Please speak clearly, hold the microphones up close to your mouth so everyone can hear. And at this time, I'm going to ask Amy Norton to introduce our first batch of candidates. As she introduces each one of you, please come forward, and I'll make sure you get the right seat. And again, we're going to introduce you in ballot order, and Amy Norton will also read a short biography. So at this time, I'm going to ask Amy Norton to come forward.
Can everybody hear me in the back okay? Good? Okay. So once again, we're going to start with candidates for Commissioner Precinct 3. When I begin reading your bio, if you, the candidate, will please make your way to the front. Lorne Liecty is a conservative businessman and attorney dedicated to protecting Rockwall County's way of life. In every role he has served, Lorne is guided by his conservative Christian values and will bring his legal and business acumen and servant's heart to continue serving Rockwall County residents. Lorne has held many leadership positions, including Heath City Council and Mayor of Heath, Chairman of Rockwall County Historical Commission, and President of the Rockwall Rotary Club. As Mayor, Lorne focused on critical infrastructure improvements, relieving traffic congestion, enhancing parks and trails, and addressing water supply and storage needs. Lorne attended Oral Roberts University and the University of Notre Dame, graduating with both an MBA and a law degree. Lorne and Mary have been married 45 years. They have 4 children and 7 grandchildren. Lorne is an elder at Lakeshore Church. Rich Krause is a committed conservative Republican with 2 decades of community service, including roles in the Heath City Council, Heath Park Board, and leadership in the Rockwall County Republican Party. Having actively participated in committees and crucial initiatives like Heath Board of Adjustments and the Comprehensive Plan Committees, Krause brings a wealth of experience. With a distinguished 38-year career in reconnaissance and anti-terrorism aircraft, Krause offers program management and budgeting expertise. Rich holds an MBA in strategic leadership and has completed 60 hours of Texas Municipal League training. Krause advocates for sound fiscal policies, highlighting high-quality, sustainable development, Krause is committed to emphasizing transparent governance and integrity, pledging to represent Rockwall County citizens responsibly and ethically. Johnny Myers is a sixth-generation Rockwall County resident who has spent his life serving our community. His father, John Dan Myers, was a Rockwall County commissioner in the late 1970s, and Johnny and his family are still proud to call Rockwall home. Johnny currently owns his own company, JRM Services, that fights big insurance companies on behalf of homeowners. Johnny is a conservative Republican who will fight for the much-needed infrastructure for calculated growth, as well as funding and resources for the brave men and women of law enforcement. Johnny met his wife Karen on a blind date, and together they have been married for more than 42 years and have 2 kids, Chelsea and Brianna. Johnny and Karen are members of Eastridge Church of Christ and are active members in the community, including the Rockwall Women's League, local Republican committees, and other charitable organizations.
All right, gentlemen, just a few more instructions and we will start off with the questions. If you look straight ahead, you'll see a group of lights. When you start answering your question, the green light will come on. When you have 30 seconds remaining, the yellow light will come on. And when your time is expired, the red light will come on. I will not cut you off immediately when the red light comes on if you are mid-sentence. I will allow you to complete your thought. However, please do not drag on. If you do, I will say time. Additionally, prior to each question, we will list the order of respondents. Gentlemen, do you have any questions? All right, the first question for our candidates for Precinct 3 Commissioner. The order of responses for the first question will be Liecty, Krause, Myers. And here is the question. Considering the ongoing water supply issues that our area has experienced, what can or will you do to address the problem? You have 60 seconds, Mr. Liecty.
Thank you. Thank you. The water supply is one of the biggest issues we face in this county. As Mary and I have been campaigning, we hear regularly that people are concerned about that. We need to work to build that supply for the entire county. We are one county. We need to work together, and we need to make sure that we do, as county commissioners, everything we can do to contribute to helping solve this problem. When I was in Heath, when I was mayor, we took action to try and shore up our water supply situation. We started consolidating all the water supply through the city of Heath. We built a second water tower because we needed it, and we knew we were going to need it in the future. Water requires planning. I will do everything I can as a county commissioner to work with the cities and the water supply corporations and North Texas Municipal Water District to bring a solution for our entire county.
Mr. Krause, you have 60 seconds.
Thank you. Yeah, I would agree. It's a county issue. Each city has the issue on their own, and I do think that, like we have a road consortium, I think we need not just a water, but an infrastructure consortium that gets together and talks about all of our needs that need to be covered, whether it's electricity, it's water, it's streets, roads. We need to work together. And actually, Dana Macklick is initiating a new project 2050, which I've already volunteered to participate in, to do just that, to get the cities together, decide where the growth is coming, because that's how we need to plan for water, for all infrastructure. And exactly right. We are one county, and we all need to work together as a county, and we need to resolve this problem as a county. There's no one solution for this water problem. There's multiple solutions, and we need the brightest of our community to stand up together and find the best solutions and work with North Texas to get those solutions implemented.
Mr. Myers, you have 60 seconds.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what we can and we can't do as county commissioner. With that being the water. The water is a city and a municipal issue. Now, as county commissioner, and you will look at on all of my stuff, I'm gonna be an advocate for you and do everything I can. I have talked to North Texas personally about the water. It's not a supply problem, it's an infrastructure problem. That there has to be more infrastructure here to get the water here. North Texas is guaranteeing us right now, we have enough water to 2035. And I'll do whatever I have to do as county commissioner, what the state allows me to do to make sure that happens.
I'll remind the candidates to please speak directly into the microphone so everyone in the back can hear. Our next question, the order of respondents is Krause, Liecty, Myers. Here's the question. How will you improve communication with the constituents in your precinct to ensure they are informed and have a voice? Mr. Krause, you have 60 seconds.
You know, I think that's a great idea, and I actually have a link on my website about that, richforrockwell.com, where the consortium meetings are actually recorded and broadcasted live. Hopefully you have the time to be there at 9 o'clock in the morning. Thank God I retired in 2022. I can do that now. And that's what we need to do, is make sure that all of the people in the precinct are aware of our issues, because Precinct 3 is unique. Precinct 3 is the least developed part of our community. And it's ripe for, frankly, overdevelopment. So we need to make sure that all the folks in Precinct 3 are helping us work together to minimize this overdevelopment, stop the overdevelopment, minimize the overtraffic, the overuse of water, and communication is key. If everyone can see and look and actually participate in this process, then we can all help together to help make Precinct 3 in itself less densely developed. And by the way, we all pay the price for this. It doesn't matter where you are in this county. If we have overdevelopment, if we have we have muds, everyone in every city, every corner of this county is paying for that. So we need to have good communication throughout the precinct.
Mr. Liecty, you have 60 seconds.
There's nothing more important in a democracy than communicating with our citizens. I would pledge to you and to each of you that I would be open and available to talk with you. You know, Mary and I have already started this as we've been campaigning, as we've been going door to door and talking to people. We've heard what you have to say. We've learned what your concerns are. And that can't stop when I'm elected county commissioner, because the only way I can be the most responsive to you and do the best job I can is to hear from our citizens and to understand what you have to say. I remember when we faced difficult issues in Heath, we would always have open meetings, we would have town halls, we would call people in, and we would deal with them directly. And what I found is our people will get behind good solutions if they know what's going on. Communication is critical to credibility, and I pledge to each and every one of you I will always be available. My phone number is on all my campaign materials. I tell people all the time, if you want to talk to me, give me a call. I'm happy to listen and give you an answer.
Mr. Myers, you have 60 seconds. How will you improve communication with the constituents in your precinct to ensure they are informed and have a voice?
Well, that means that you need to have an open door. Always be available for your constituents. Have that door open. Make it public that you are there for them. And as far as what's going on now and what we've been seeing and talking to people out in the county, and again, the biggest concern is you ask them how long they've lived here, and they say, well, 4 years, 5 years, 20 years. And everybody, I said, how do you like living here? And the answer that you get 99% of the time is, we love the area, we like the hometown feel. And that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to be in for some growth if we continue to stay on track. But as county commissioner, I want to make sure that we all keep that hometown feel here in Rockwall County.
The order for our next question is Myers, Krause, Liecty. Here's the question. What specifically do you think you can change or affect by joining the Commissioners Court? Mr. Myers, you have 60 seconds.
Well, I want to run the county commissioner and run it as a business. I think if we do that, we can narrow our budget down to where you're running smarter, you're working hard, you're working, got that one all fouled up. You got to work smarter, not harder. Okay. But anyway, with that being said, you just have to work, look at your budgets, look at everything, and make sure that you can, like in here, you know, there's LED lighting, and I've already talked to some of the maintenance people, and they're trying to do that. That would save probably millions of dollars a year, thousands to millions over a point in time, just to switching just out lighting. So again, you gotta work smarter, not harder.
Mr. Krause, 60 seconds.
Well, thank you. The first thing I would say is that I'm not going up there to frankly fix much. I am so proud of the new county commissioner and judge that we have today. I campaign for these people. I'm excited that they're there. I am anxious to be up there helping them fight for us, the citizens, to prevent muds and overdevelopment. And yes, one transparent government, just like we always did that in Heath, the no new tax policy, they're already working on that. And I think that many of the aspects of the county are running better than they have in a long time. We've got a lot of great new ideas, and I want to be part of the team that joins and helps, takes these ideas to fruition and be a support, and just thank all of the folks that are up on the County Commissioners Court today for all their hard work. This is a $50 million budget, folks. This is not minor. We've got to get this right. We've got to do it right. We have to act responsibly. I think we have great services. I want to improve them every chance we get without increasing taxes.
Mr. Liecty, you have 60 seconds.
Would you repeat the question, please?
What specifically do you think you can change or affect by joining the Commissioners Court?
I think one of my biggest attributes is that I have an ability to recognize issues, identify solutions, and implement those solutions. I've done that throughout my career, both as an attorney, as a public servant. We're facing big issues in this county right now. Big issues regarding development and high-density development in the unincorporated areas of the county. I am already working with the County Commissioners Court to deal with those issues through my role as president of the Open Space Alliance. In October, we made a presentation to the Commissioners Court to advise them what needed to be done if a development was approved in order for that development to comply with the Rockwall County Commissioners Court, or with the Open Space Alliance, the objectives of the Open Space Master Plan. I'm already working on this. I've done this all my life, and I will continue to bring creative solutions to solve the problems we're facing. Thanks.
Thank you. That completes our first three questions. Our next three questions will come from our co-moderator, Mr. Andrew Greenberg. He is in the audience. Mr. Greenberg is one of our precinct chairs here in the Rockwall County Republican Party. So I'm going to turn the floor over to Mr. Greenberg for the next three questions.
Thank you, Mr. Peak. So the order will be Liecty, Myers, and Krause for this next question. Given Rockwall County citizens pay a $10 annual road fee for each car registered, outline your specific plans to address and improve the current state of our dilapidated county roads. Mr. Liecty.
Thanks for that question. In Precinct 3, county roads are the biggest issue that they are in any precinct. I believe we have 162 county roads in Rockwall County. 99 of them are in Precinct 3. That means 2/3 of our county roads are there. We need to focus the attention on fixing those roads, maintaining and improving them that they deserve. Because when you got 2/3 of the roads in one precinct, that precinct needs the attention to keep those roads up. When I was mayor of Heath, I instituted a capital improvement plan where we built new roads, we improved and expanded existing roads, and we made it so we could get from point A to point B as quickly and as easily as possible. Everybody in this county is tired of the traffic that's getting worse and worse. We need to make it better to the greatest extent we can. I will focus on that, and I will focus on it to Precinct 3, because this is where the county road problem is.
Mr. Myers?
I agree with Lauren on that. Precinct 3 is very unique. It does have the most as far as county roads. I know now that the county roads are addressed basically on a 2-year rotation plan. And if some constituents say, hey, we got a problem, they are addressed at that point. But maybe we need to relook at that. Maybe we need to go look at these roads every 6 months. And myself personally as county commissioner, I would not have a problem that I would personally travel all these roads to make sure that they are up to par on what they should be, where our constituents don't have to dodge potholes or hit potholes and or have washouts and tear up their cars.
Mr. Krause?
Yes, we can all agree that Precinct 3 has the majority of county roads, and they definitely need our attention. I think it would be great to do that in an analytical process where you actually do have the list of roads, what condition they're in, how old they are, how long their base is, core the roads, as we're doing now. We actually have a contract now to core roads and find out when they're going to need help to plan ahead, because it's one thing to build new roads. Even new roads eventually need repair. So we need to have a very careful study of all the roads and bridges within our Precinct 3 and have very careful planning and budgeting to make sure we not only improve where they are now, but to make sure they stay in good shape, because roads are clearly a major factor in the quality of life for all of us in the county. And although most of them are in Precinct 3, we welcome all of you in the county coming through Precinct 3 using our quality county roads.
The order for our next question will be Krause, Myers, Liecty. What is your experience with preparing or authorizing budgets?
The authority for preparing and authorizing budgets is essentially done in a transparent way without the community, with the community support in front of the community. We take everybody's needs, we try to put them together and make sure that they make sense based on the tax revenue that we are receiving. And one thing I think is really important is that developers pay for their part of these costs. That they don't develop, run away, and leave the rest of us leaving the bill to pay for what they've left behind in schools, in traffic, in overdevelopment, in safety, in deputies, in the sheriff's departments. That's what's critical. We need to have a budget that supports all of the county, that is paid for the citizens by what the citizens have been here, those who pioneered here, those who moved here, those who want this country feel that we have, and not have it eroded and evaporated by people who are developing and then leaving us with a very costly mess behind.
Mr. Myers?
Could you repeat the question?
Sure. What is your experience with preparing or authorizing budgets?
Well, that would come back when I was a mid-level manager with a Fortune 500 company. We were in charge of basically 15 franchisees that would be under my leadership at that point in time. And we had to make sure that they had their budget set. We had to make sure our budget was set for us, our regions. And we would have to do sales forecasts along with product. And that's where I think I could be a big asset, because you got to work. You can't be proactive. You got to be reactive. Not be reactive. You got to be proactive about it. You know, look ahead to what you're going to need 4 or 5 years from now, and that's where I think I could have the experience and have done that in the past.
Mr. Liecty.
I've had to live by a budget all my life. I have worked and developed budgets and lived by them. I've done it in the county, in the city government when I was on the city council and mayor of Heath. I've done it in appointed positions with the Historical Commission, the Rockwall County Historical Commission. I've done it with our nonprofit organizations I've volunteered in. I've done we balance budgets in our church, at Helping Hands, you name it. It's something I've done repeatedly. So if you ask my experience, I've done it multiple times and multiple levels, including at my business. One thing I have learned is you've got to watch every line item on a budget, because the easiest thing you can do is agree to spend more money. The easiest thing you can do in government is to hire another employee and build a bureaucracy. And when you do that and you get bigger and bigger, it's really hard to ever get it smaller and smaller. So we got to watch every dollar we spend. We got to make sure we balance our budget. And then once we've created it, we've got to live in accordance with that budget. Thanks.
This next order will be Myers, Liecty, Krause. And the question is, do you support the county's current 2050 strategic planning efforts? Do you see any areas that should receive greater focus?
Again, yes, I would support that plan, because you have to look ahead. You got to look ahead, and again, you got to be proactive, not reactive to what the situations are. As far as the plan, what I understand at this point, it's not finalized. Now, I may be wrong, but the last time I was talking, it was not finalized, that it was just being put into place. But I would be 100% supportive of that plan, because we are looking ahead of what all the needs are for Rockwall County.
Mr. Liecty?
I'm a huge supporter of the Strategic Plan 2050. When I was in Heath working with the city government there, I served on 2 comprehensive planning committees. And what I've learned is if you don't plan and you don't look forward, you don't know where you're going, and you're not going to end up where you want to be. This is a great opportunity. I'm excited that the County Commissioners Court has agreed to take it on. I'm also excited that I've been chosen to serve as the chairman on the open space subcommittee portion of that. It's really important we preserve open spaces, because that's what people love about this county. They love the rural feel. I'm excited about serving on that committee, and I'm excited about what I'm going to get to do there. The thing we really need to do, though, is we need to hear from you, the citizens. This is a plan that we're going to put in place to tell people where we want to be in 2050 and how we get there. If we don't hear from you, we won't have a successful plan. So I would encourage all of you to get out and make your voices heard, and let the committee hear what you think the priorities should be.
Yeah, I am too very excited about the 2050 plan, and I think Dana McAleek is the perfect representative to head that up. And I think she's doing a good job at this time. It had a little bit of a slow start, but that's for good reason. You want to get the right bids in, you want to get the perspective right, the specs right, and you want to get this program going. It is critical, because our schools, our traffic, and all that. You have multiple cities within this county, and they are doing their own thing essentially. And if we can all get together and talk about that, because you think about just the schools, Rockwall Independent School District, wouldn't it be great where they knew where the schools were going to be in 2050, where they're coming next? Then you can plan your roads, then you can plan your traffic. I also was on the City of Heath comprehensive plans, and I think the other thing to do is to make sure you implement that plan. I mean, it's great to have a plan, but you have to follow it. And I'm the one that has the best track record within the city council and voting record of following that comprehensive plan that I helped build, including the ordinances that I wrote to help enforce those plans.
This next question, the order will be Liecty, Krause, Myers. Please describe your associations or interests in property development, commercial development, and the construction industry. Mr. Liecty, you have 60 seconds.
Repeat it, please.
Please describe your associations or interests in property development, commercial development, and the construction industry.
Well, first of all, I'm not a developer. I'm an attorney. But I'm a real estate attorney, and I represent a lot of different clients. I've had very successful practice, and I'm glad for that. There's one instance where I have developed a piece of property in Rockwall County, and that was on my own street, Terry Lane, where me and two partners bought a piece of property. There were 18 acres. We developed 18 lots, perfectly in compliance with our comprehensive plan. It's important that we recognize how to deal with property that's being developed, because we need to make sure that high-density development is not permitted and is slowed down as much as we can, because the impact it puts on our county is incredible. I understand the law. I know how it works. I know what we can do and what we cannot do. I will be a voice that will help the County Commissioners Court enforce the 175 pages of subdivision regulations we have to make sure that developers live in accordance with those regulations. Thank you.
Mr. Krause?
Be my turn. My turn to ask you to repeat the question.
Please describe your associations or interest in property development, commercial development, and the construction industry.
That's pretty easy. There is none. My career, again, is building reconnaissance spy planes in Greenville, Texas, and I think it's a very honorable profession, you know, making terrorist lives as miserable and short as possible. I have never been a developer. I've never represented a developer. I've never represented a property owner. I do own a couple of properties in Heath that my kids and my grandkids live in. That's one thing I've learned. If you buy the house, they'll come. I guess that's my association with real estate. I've never built anything. I'm not interested in doing that. I got a great retirement from L3 Harris. But I do have to make one point. You know, with our comprehensive plan, it says one home per developable acre. So I just want to point out, if you have, you know, whatever, 9 acres and 9 homes, that doesn't include what you need for roads and right-of-way and whatnot. So that would not technically meet our comprehensive plan.
Mr. Myers? Describe your associations or interests in property development, commercial development, and the construction industry.
Well, I have none of the above, as far as that. I own one home, it's a little over 6 acres there in Heath, and that's all I need. But getting back to that, like I said, I don't have any interest in that. I would say that we are in a little bit unique situation here for us in the county, that all these developers are trying to come in and they're making millions of dollars on putting these muds out in the rural county. We need to work harder to see what we can do. We need some state legislature to be passed that gives us the right as a county to control these. Now, I've looked over all the building subdivision rules and have come up with one thing that it's got a little teeth, but it's not going to stop them. You know, you got to do one thing when you own a home. You got to do something with the waste. Now, what I propose is, and I've already checked, it can be added to that, is to put that the developer has to furnish the garbage pickup.
Thank you, Mr. Myers.
Can I have a rebuttal?
I'm sorry?
Can I have a rebuttal?
You have 60 seconds, Mr. Liecty.
Thanks. I'm only doing this because at the end of Mr. Krause's comments, he said that a 9-acre, I think it was a 9-acre homes on 9 acres wouldn't be within the comprehensive plan. The comprehensive plan changes over time, okay? I was on the original comprehensive plan committee in Heath in 1996 that set our 1 lot per acre general density goal. That comprehensive plan has changed. It was modified in 2001, in 2008, in 2017, I believe, and it's been modified since then. The reference that I made to the 18 acres we've developed was correct. It was in compliance with the comprehensive plan at the time. We didn't ask for variances. I didn't negotiate it. I didn't vote on it. It was all above board. So I would like to say I'm proud of what we've done in Heath, and anything that says I'm a developer, fake news.
All right, the order for our next question is Myers, Liecty, Krause. Here's the question. It follows a similar theme. Where do you stand on higher density developments, and how will you advocate for Rockwall County and Austin with a Texas legislature that has consistently voted in favor of unregulated residential development, including apartments, in Texas counties? Myers, Liecty, Krause. Mr. Myers, you have 60 seconds.
Well, I hit on that a while ago. We have to get legislation passed if we're gonna be able to control these developers out in the rural county. They're coming in there and they're building these things and making millions of dollars on them, and they're not even looking and trying to help for infrastructure. We gotta make them more responsible. We gotta make them develop the roads as far as, because you gotta get the people in and out of there. Not add to what we have now. And as far as Austin, I'll be down there every week if I have to get this passed, as far as some legislation that gives us more control as a county of what we can say can be and can't be developed as far as high density. Now, if we want to stay with what we have right now, as far as acre and a half in the county, I'm 100% for that. What I'm saying is anything under an acre or below that is in the, say, quarter acre to a half acre lot size, that's what we need to focus on.
Mr. Liecty?
Johnny, very well said. You know, there are rights that a city has to control development that a county doesn't have. Probably the most significant of those in what we're facing today is that a city can regulate density as we did in Heath, okay? A county cannot do that. The county right now does not have the right to say that we're only going to have 1 lot per acre. The 1.5 acre lot Johnny's referring to that's a limit on septic systems. And what's happening, and the problem is, these MUDs are being created, and they're being created contrary to our democratic system, where one person gets to vote on a MUD on their property that affects our entire county, and that's not right. And what we've got to do is we've got to go to Austin. We've got to talk with our state senator. We've got to talk to our state representative. And we've got to convince them and let them see, as a population in this county, that the county needs the same rights to regulate development as cities do. And I will fight that fight also.
Mr. Krause?
Sometimes it's great when you get a bunch of folks up here who agree, because I absolutely agree. You know, we've got to fight for our right to develop with sustainability, because I'm not anti-development. I want high quality, low density, sustainable development. And that's absolutely right. If you have the on-site septic and that requires 1.5% acre density, that's perfect. That retains our open country feel. That keeps our families safe. That keeps our traffic down. But one thing we need to get a consortium of counties to go to Austin and try to fight back, you know, all these lobbyists that are fighting against us. And yes, we need to talk to our state reps, engage them, have them even in a consortium to work together with us so that we all can control the density of our county. Because if we don't do it now, we gotta do it now, or it's gonna be too late. It's already, look at in Heath. Heath has a lot of lots that are already developed without our comprehensive plan that we cannot change now. We have to go to Austin together.
This is the last question, and we'll move into the closing statements. This question is ordered Krause, Myers, Liecty. Here's the question. At what point should county commissioners utilize consultants or outside specialists to address county needs? Mr. Krause.
I think that's got to be a wise choice. I think it's got to be within the budget, something you plan on, but something that you need to know, you know, based on the personal
expertise of different county commissioners, I think I have an excellent community service record. I have an excellent professional record. I have retired very nicely at a relatively young age. I've done fine, but there's some of these areas I am not an expert in. But these developers, they have all the attorneys, they have the legislatures on their side. And I think there's many areas, especially with the MUDs and MUD elections and MUD approvals, that we should absolutely get the best consultant experts we can to fight in our favor, because we only have one chance to do it. To save a few dollars or to try to collaborate together and do it in a small community within the court, I don't think is the best way to go. I think we need to find the very best consultants, the experts that can help us win the fight that we need to fight, because we need to win it now.
Mr. Myers? At what point should county commissioners utilize consultants or outside specialists to address county needs?
Well, again, it needs to be in the budget, number one. But anything that, I'm not an expert on everything, Rick's not, Lorne's not, none of us in here are. But anything that we see that we could use the help on as an expert, I would be back at 100% as far as getting a consultant. And again, if that consultant is as far as to try to fight the MUDs, or what that may be, even if it was to come in here and do an analysis of all these lights in this room, then that's what they do. It's gonna save the county money. It may not right up front, because we're gonna have to pay them, but over 3, 4, or 5 year period, we're gonna save lots of money. And that's the key for a county, is to look what you can do by not eliminating any services, possibly approving services, and cutting the budget.
Mr. Liecty?
Great question, because too often we rely on consultants. We need to hire consultants when we need expertise, because if we don't know what we're doing, we're going to make mistakes. So if we don't have the expertise within our county, we need to hire consultants. I agree with Rich that as far as fighting high-density development and people that want to do that, we need to get the best lawyers there are. One thing that's different about a county commissioner from being a city councilman is that a county commissioner, you don't have a big staff. City councils, if you serve on a city council, you have a staff and they present things to you. You got to do a lot of the work yourself when you're a county commissioner. You got to dig in and get after it. And we've got some great county commissioners that do just that. I think that my training and my expertise as an attorney is a huge benefit to this, especially when we deal with questions like development, because I understand the law, I understand it works, and I will put all that to work on behalf of our county. Thanks so much.
Thank you, candidates. That concludes the questions. I will remind you that your closing statements will be 90 seconds, so you've got a little more time. I'll also remind the timekeepers this will be 90 seconds. Just like the questions, though, the green light will come on, and then when you have 30 seconds remaining, the yellow light. So the order for the closing statements is Liecty, Myers, Krause. Mr. Liecty, you have 90 seconds.
Thank you all for coming out. I hope this has been informative. I hope we've answered your questions. You know, on March 5th, I'm asking every resident and every voter in Precinct 3 to vote for me to be their county commissioner. That's a huge request, and I understand that. Because what I'm asking you is to trust me to do what I'll say I'll do and to do a good job for you in running this county. I think that my track record shows that I will do just that, and I understand the responsibility that that puts on me. My pledge to every voter in Precinct 3 is simple. When things come before me on the County Commissioner's Court, I will answer two questions. One, is this good for Rockwall County? And two, is this what the people want? Mary and I have lived here in Rockwall County since 1986. We've raised our family here. This is home. I have spent my entire adult life serving this county and trying to make it a better place. I want to continue to do that as your county commissioner. Now, we're facing some serious issues in this county, and we've got to find great solutions Otherwise, at some point, we'll wake up and realize we don't recognize our county, and nobody wants that. But the good news is, we still live in the best county, in the best state, in the best nation, on God's green earth. I'm asking you to give me your vote so I can help make it better. Thank you.
Mr. Myers, you have 90 seconds.
Well, I agree with Lorne on a lot of that. You know, I have the longevity here with my family, and there's nothing more that I think by serving as a county commissioner that would please me and that I could do for the county. Again, with that being said, we're looking at some tough issues coming up. And with my background and being with the Corporate 500 Corporation, being in business for myself, I think I'm their person to make them decisions. And I'm the type person, all of you know here, that I've talked to you before, and there's certain things that we didn't agree on and we disagreed on. And I'm a man of my word, and I've told you this is when I did what I did because I gave my word. And that's what I'm going to do now as county commissioner. I'm going to give you my word. I'm going to do everything I say I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I can for you. And coming early voting starts February 20th and election day on March 5th. I hope I have all of y'all's vote.
Mr. Krause, you have 90 seconds.
Thank you. I really appreciate your time being here. This has got to be one of the biggest crowds I've seen, and I've been to quite a few of these. So this just gets more exciting all the time. You know, I am the guy, I'm the candidate who has done what I said I'm going to do. I have the voting record. I have the community service record. I have the professional record. You know, we have a $50 million bond here at the county hub. I've managed $45 million aircraft renovations. You know, that facility I came from, they spend $36 million a month in material. I have done all the subcontracting and renovating and construction on that facility owned by Greenville. Some of that money spent by the Department of Defense. You cannot get more complicated than any contracts in that. This county has some tough stuff going on, but I've done a lot of tough stuff. And I have worked on comprehensive plans, and I have worked on the ordinances, and I've enforced those ordinances. And we made a great stride within Heath to reverse the trend of overdevelopment of our community. And yes, we did have to get the realtors and the attorney lawyers and the developers off the council to do it, but we did it. And since 2017, we've not approved another one. I am the guy who's already proven to you what I will do. I'm excited to go to this new county commissioner's court. If that paper on mud was up on the wall right now, darn right, I'd be a signature on there. There'd be one less blank. So what I really encourage you folks to do is to vote for Rich Krause. Rich for Rockwall. Don't go for broke, vote for Rich.
Thank you, Mr. Krause. At this time, we're going to take a 10-minute recess. Let's give these candidates